Welcome to Executives at the Edge, a podcast brought to you by MEF. I'm your host, Pascal Menezes. Join me as we explore thought-provoking perspectives from the leaders and changemakers who are propelling enterprise digital transformation forward. I am so very excited to have Jeff Miller, President and CEO of Synchronoss Technologies. Jeff, welcome to Executive at the Edge. And I believe in today's episode, we're going to cover really what is your offering. You have a great offering as a cloud technology that is really packaged as a white label to all the telecom operators, and really fascinating your offering of your cloud services. So Jeff, with that, could you please tell our listeners a little bit more about your background and your company? That would be appreciated.
Certainly. Pascal, thank you very much for having me join the program. We're delighted to be a part of it. Yes, I represent Synchronoss Technologies. It is a software solutions provider that focuses on providing a cloud-based solution on a white label basis to telecom service providers around the globe that they extend to their subscribers. Now, I've been with the business for a little over 5 years, but my entire background and career have been in the communications technology sector, either working inside of one of the telecom service providers, like AT&T, where I started my career, or many years serving those customers by providing them hardware and software solutions, as I did for another 15 years or so with Motorola. It's been an exciting time to be in the software solutions business with cloud, and now is a great time for Synchronoss as well. So I'm glad to talk to you about that.
So Jeff, major telecom carriers like Verizon, AT&T, BT, SoftBanks, how do they leverage cloud service to enhance their revenue streams? Can you articulate that a little bit?
Happily to do so. Essentially, there's two approaches that they take. One is they leverage a cloud-based service as a premium value-added service offer to their subscribers. It complements their voice and data and other plans, and it allows them to generate new sources of revenue, essentially driving higher ARPU, or average revenue per user, or average revenue per an account. And that's critically important today to the global service providers like AT&T, Verizon, SoftBank around the globe, because as mobile penetration has saturated well above 100%, their growth has to come from new sources of revenue and new services. So we complement their voice and data services by providing this cloud solution. The second method that they use to really improve their performance profitability is they leverage this to improve their churn rates or to reduce those churn rates, because customers are more likely to stay loyal to their subscribers or to their service plan if they also have captured and protected their digital content, in addition to getting from voice and data services from that carrier.
So where's the telecom industry currently falling short? How can companies strategically invest to address these gaps?
Well, clearly today there's been massive investments made both in spectrum and infrastructure for 5G. Yet there have been a constant challenge to the industry that the operators who made those investments are getting the return on investment. We think that there's more to be done on ways to leverage 5G and to make a better ROI equation for the service provider and better experiences for consumers. So one of the best examples of where 5G has been leveraged is in the introduction of fixed wireless access. In other words, now the mobile operators providing your home internet solution by leveraging their 5G infrastructure. Well, we complement that 5G infrastructure by providing a cloud solution to back up the content that you also have in your home. And that type of combined solution, where like Verizon, they bundle in an unlimited amount of cloud storage to their 5G Home Plus service offering offered to their subscribers. That's a way to get a better ROI out of your 5G infrastructure and to get more revenue per subscriber because you're also providing them a cloud solution. That's one example.
You know, it's a really unique proposition, because I get it. I bundle in my broadband loop with all of this cloud storage and access to an online repository where I can put my photos, my music, and all that. So what are the advancements? You know, we're talking always about AI, generative AI. What is the advancements that you think generative AI is going to be in transforming this consumer kind of experience? How do you see this?
Well, most telecom operators around the globe are leveraging AI very successfully in their consumer experience, customer service operations. However, we provide and leverage generative AI and have now for well over a year in the actual consumer content experience. So we can allow you as a consumer to take old photos that may actually be damaged and repair them through generative AI, and then keep that repaired photo within your repository, within your personal cloud. In addition to that, you might colorize black and white photos, which we enable you to do also through generative AI, or apply new filters. So you could take a photo of a palm tree and a sunset and apply a starry night filter to that and make it look like a Van Gogh painting, creating an entirely new piece of art through the content you previously captured. That allows you to not only be the capturer, but the creator of new art that then you're more compelled to engage with and share with others.
So how do you think the telecom companies are integrating machine learning and, into their cloud service? So this idea of, generative AI makes a lot of sense. I get Google Photos that today I subscribe to, and they generate all kinds of videos for me, for my pictures and all that. But how does telecom companies now are integrating machine learning into the cloud service, and how is this impacting that customer experience? It seems like explain the generative AI I get. What is machine learning in your opinion in this example?
Yeah, there's at least two referenceable examples that I think will be very relevant for all of your listeners and really anybody who deals with technology today. Of course, we have seen with everyone walking around with a photo or a camera in their pocket that the proliferation of data capture has just exploded. Now, with all that mass content generation, videos, photos, and everything else, it's hard to find the photo you want when you want it so you can share it with the person you want. One of the most important applications of machine learning is for tagging and searching the content within your photos so that you can very easily find those photos that you want, regardless of when you took it, where you took it, if you forgot. That goes into tag and search technology that we leverage to capture the metadata on the photo that allows you to search on things by the names of the people that are captured in those photos or by the subject matters that might be inherent in those photos. So it's easy for me to capture all the photos of my wife or my family by name because, of course, I've got those captured and they're identified. And once I've captured them once, in all of my photos, they're identified. But I can also search on my family on a beach because I can put those two things together. And we believe over time, machine learning will further be enhanced for semantic search that'll simply allow me to query, I'd like all of the photos of my family on a beach, and I can get one set of results. That access to digital content being more efficient is going to be more and more critical over time as the library expands exponentially. So we think that's kind of an absolute critical area for machine learning. The other was something that you were referencing. We really want to invite our consumers to engage with the application that we provide through our service providers on a regular basis because they find the content relevant, interesting, emotional, and want to share it with others. So we use machine learning as a means by which to curate the experiences, what we call flashbacks and highlights, to bring those back to your foreground, either through an email notification or an in-app notification that allows you to be reminded of that last trip you took to Europe, or what you did on your birthday a year ago, or what you did 5 years ago in the circumsetting. Those types of things make the content relevant. It makes it something that is a better connection to the user, the subscriber themselves, and it will prompt them to invite others to engage with the same content over time.
Yeah, very, very intriguing what AI, and we're all getting confused. We wrap everything under AI, but I think generative AI is generating new content from old content, where in this case, you're talking about inference, the ability to really have that contextual awareness that, hey, I'm looking, like you said, for myself or my family on the beach and show me all the photos. And I know I struggle that with all the time. And so this is very, very innovative. Jeff, any last thoughts you can think about that you'd like to share with our listeners about your great offering and where the industry is moving in this area?
Well, I think the industry, the telecommunications industry, is struggling from trying to be a value-added provider to their subscribers and not simply a high-speed pipe in the industry. So I think the only way that gets accomplished, the only way the brands like Verizon, SoftBank, BT mean more and more over time to their subscribers is for them to surround those subscribers with relevant services that make sense and also complement their voice and data plans. We feel like many operators have the opportunity to do the same thing. And let's use a couple of examples. The MVNOs in the United States today, companies like Charter and Comcast, are dramatically improving and accelerating their mobile subscription business, but they're also losing broadband subscribers. We believe they've got a tremendous opportunity to leverage solutions like a branded cloud to improve the loss of those broadband subscribers. And now that they're getting mobile subscribers, they have an opportunity to keep them and protect them by providing cloud solutions. So we think it's a great complement for any communication service provider in the U.S. or globally to bring to the market. And we hope to be in a position to continue to grow utilizing that model with our clients.
Well, it sounds like you have a really great offering, Jeff. And I want to thank you for being here on Executives at the Edge. And I'm sure our listeners will find this episode very fascinating. So thank you.
Thank you, Pascal. We appreciate the opportunity.
Thanks for joining us for Executives at the Edge. Don't miss an episode. Subscribe today. Share online a review. Find all our episodes on your favorite podcast platform and at MEF.net.